Hello, my friends from the internet. Thank you for joining me today. We're going to go over Age of Sigmar 3rd Edition starter set. So this was just released on the Warhammer community page on May 29th. Age of Sigmar was announced, 3rd Edition was announced a couple weeks ago, and we finally get to learn who the other army is in regards to the starter set. So I want to just go over those units, give some thoughts, quick input, and then we can move on with our lives in this video. But I do want to thank you for joining me today. So let's scroll down. They just go over the main, you can watch the main stream where they go over it. They have an animation that covers it. It might be something involved with Warhammer Plus. We'll have to see, but you get to see the one of the new characters in action and some of the other units in an animated action. So I highly suggest going to the article and watching them, or at least go to the YouTube channel and watch it. They give you a video of what's located in the box, and then we get to see pictures. So we've got our Stormcast side and our Cruel Boys, who are going to be the new Destruction Army, going along with the Destruction God that was announced before the 3rd edition, and I think this goes on pre-orders soon, or is already on pre-orders. So it says here that we get 21 Stormcast Eternals, 39 Cruel Boy Oryx, an exclusive launch edition core book, 24-page booklet to get started, 14 War Scroll cards, and 2 Allegiance ability cards. So really excited. You could only get this book, from what I can tell from the article, if you get the starter edition. So I mean, it won't be available forever, I'm sure. And then once the run is out or what have you, they'll release each armies separately as they've done before. So we're going to go over the Stormcast side of things. You get Yndestra, the Celestial Spear, who's this big bad monster hunter who lives, breathes, and eats to go and hunt the monsters that threaten the mortal realms for Sigmar. You get another hero, the Lord Imperator with Gryph-hound, who's kind of like your, if you're not taking a named character, is probably like your general per se, kind of like your Lord Celestins and your Lord Arcanums and what have you. I'm sure you could probably get something. They'll probably come out with something of this guy riding some sort of one of their various 12 different mounts that they have for Stormcast, I'm sure. We have our Knight Arcanum, which is your sorcerer person. Very similar to what they already have when they came out with the 2nd edition, I'm sure. Cast your spells, what have you. They brought a lot of spellcasters in 2nd edition for Stormcast. You've got your Knight Velexer with Banner Apothis. He looks cool. He's got some sort of banner ability. I'm sure he'll work very similar to all the others that have a banner, some sort of large aura ability you give to everybody within or wholly within. You've got your Praetors, which are an elite bodyguard type unit is how they describe it. That they're soulbound to those they're charged to protect. So who knows, probably dishing out wounds of some sort to any hero nearby them, or maybe you're specifically like a specific general. One cool thing about it when I was going through was this guy here kind of reminded me of Tyrael from the Diablo series, so that was funny to see. They look pretty cool overall. I'm sure they're going to dish out mortal wounds or something. They're going to be a big, beefy 3 health, 3 wound unit, I'm sure. Something you'll notice as we go about, we see a lot of this dwarven symbol as we go down here in more in-depth. You'll see the Annihilators, or the Terminators of Age of Sigmar, are hulking Goliaths that dish out pain as well as they can take it, and they charge into the battle with the force of a meteor. You'll see here a lot of what seems to be or looks like dwarven iconography. Well, that's because apparently, from what we've been told and what we've read in some of the articles, is that Sigmar's buddy, the dwarven god, I forgot his name, helped forge this fancy armor so that they had a better connection with the realm of Sigmar, so that when they died, they could go back and be reforged instead of being snatched up by what was Nagash, and then you've got Bellacor's nonsense going on. So that's why this specific, I don't know if they're going to be a chamber or not. I assume they're going to be another chamber, just like the Arcanum and the Sequitors and whatnot were a separate chamber in regards to second edition, but that's why you're going to see that. So they look pretty cool. Beefy units. I'm sure they'll be your probably your hammer or your anvil, I guess, would be what these, your anvil, and you have something else come and be your hammer. They look beefy. They look really cool. Probably one of my favorite units so far out of the Stormcast's side of things. And then you have what's going to be, I assume, the battle line and the Vindicators, wielding lightning blessed spears and shields, arcs of blazing Arcanite power form, or Azurite power form around them as they hold the battle line. So yes, they're going to be battle line. I wonder if they're going to be battle line in the same sense as the Sequitors, who required a Lord Arcanum to be your general to be considered battle line. Otherwise, they weren't your battle line and you had to rely on the Liberators. So you've got Liberators, Sequitors, and now Vindicators, who are probably going to be your battle line. These guys, I'm assuming, if they're going off of the same style, aren't going to be battle line unless you bring this Lord Imperium as your general. Hasn't been confirmed yet. That's just my speculation. They look pretty cool. I know a lot of people were saying they remind everybody of Primaris, how they look bigger, buffer, more true scale than what the Liberators were if you had a picture of them next to each other. So I see a lot of things going around that these are the Primaris of Age of Sigmar. So that's covering all the Stormcast units. Now we get the nice juicy new army for destruction, the Cruel Boy Oryx. These are the swamp or the bog monsters that they hinted at in the video we watched. They look way differently than the orcs that we already have in Age of Sigmar, and different than the ones we have in 40k. Even in this picture, you see how they look more akin to, I would say closer to like the Lord of the Rings orcs. I know that they mentioned in an article, I don't know what article or when I read it, but they're closer to, it might even be this one, they're closer to some of the older ranges of the orcs, with a new, fresh look to them. So it's kind of a combination of both. So we've got Kiloboss on Great Nashtooth. So a giant mount with an orc. I know. If you're thinking what I thought, he looks very disproportionate. Very short legs, very tall torso. I don't know if that's what they're meaning to go for, but that's what we have here. But he looks like just a big beefy general type guy who's going to charge and do mortal wounds or something on the charge, or hit better, or what have you. So there's your typical hero. Then you've got what is probably a spellcaster. So Swamp, Killa, Shaman, and Pot Grot. So they all have these little grots that seem to be with them. So I'm assuming this is some sort of spellcaster, or if not a spellcaster, some sort of priest-like character that says some sort of chants or prayers. I know that the orcs have chanters that they can do per turn, so we'll have to see. We've got the general on foot, so a Kiloboss with Stab Grot, so the normal guy just not on a big old mount and a little follower. We've got a banner guy, just like the Stormcast Eternals got. He's probably going to do some large, I think it says here he protects from magic, probably within a big aura around him. And then we get the Manskir Bolt Boys, so they've got a ranged archer kind of guy. I think they look cool. Like, if I was going to play a Destruction Army, they have a pretty cool aesthetic to them. We've got Gut Rippers, which I think are going to be your main like battle line. I think you're probably going to have a lot of these guys. They're probably going to come in a somewhat anywhere from medium to large groups, maybe medium-sized. More akin to your like Blood Warriors versus Blood Reavers. Maybe. I only say that because we have the Hobgrot Slides, which these are probably going to be your cultist or your like cheap battle line option. You probably get a lot of them. We'll go look at the main picture to see. So that's the new army for the Oryx, the Destruction Army, which is pretty cool. I hope they go really well with the new guy. I'm sure they will, since they're coming out in very similar time frames. This is kind of interesting. What else is under the lid? It just goes over that this is a special edition core rulebook that you'll only be able to get with the starter set. If you buy the separate one, I'm sure it's gonna have obviously a different cover, but we'll have the same stuff in it. So if you're not interested in either army, this is the main thing you're not getting. You're not getting the fancy special edition core rulebook. So if you care about that, then you're probably gonna have to pre-order the army, even if you don't play either army, unless you're willing to pay whatever prices it goes for on alternative sites that sell these things aftermarket. You also get the cards and a start here, which will just be starter scenarios, maybe a little bit about the lore of all the characters or what's going on. They're War Scroll cards, and they claim this is going to have the best rule set yet. This also goes over 8 new things about Age of Sigmar. I definitely, again, I know I said you need to go read the article and watch this. It's pretty funny. They have some humor to it. It's whatever. I highly encourage you to go watch it. It's pretty funny. And then they just tell you that there are additional things coming after the starter set for both of these armies. You get a Knight Judicator with Gryph-hounds. You get a Stormcast Chariot. And then on the Orc side, you get a Beast Skewer Killowbow, which is probably very similar to other artillery. And a big old Trogoth with an Orc dude on top. That looks pretty cool. It's going to tell you about a book to go and read and find out what's going on in this time frame. But that's pretty much it. I'm super excited. I don't know if I'm going to get the box or not because I don't play these armies. The only armies I have for Age of Sigmar is I have a full-fledged army of Khorne Mortals, obviously with some demons there. I have a little bit of, what are they called? Slaves to Darkness, and I have a very small army of Nurgle demons. So in regards to Age of Sigmar, don't play either one of these. So I have to decide if I want to pick up, probably to play the Oryx. But other than that, not really interested in the special edition rulebook. Don't really care. That's pretty much it. I'm excited to hear more about the actual things going on with 3rd edition. I really hope they start to cover it a lot more. This goes on pre-order next month, I believe, is what they said. And so overall, I'm excited. I think this 3rd edition should improve some things. I already know that they're not getting rid of the double turn. Whether you like that or hate it or whatever your opinion is, it will remain. But they're going to try to work mechanics out so that it's not such a detriment to whoever's not getting the double turn. So we'll have to see how that goes. And I will cover any news that comes our way about that. So in regards to 3rd edition, let's just wait and see what is to come with all the changes that they're promising us. I also just would love to ask you to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. I do have some Let's Play series going on right now with Days Gone, and some future ones planned. So again, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and have a great rest.